They say straight line speed is for fast cars, but speed around corners is for fast drivers. This is the sacrosanct tarmac of the Curry Motor Speedway in Coimbatore, and here we have it all. Long straight, 8 corners, blisteringly fast cars, and the country's best racing drivers. As the racing begins on day 2, let's see what they have in store for us at the 17th JK Tyre Racing Championship.
Now it's the right time. Our aim is to bring in all the players together on a single platform and pull in all the resources so that we take the sport to a next level.
For the first time, we decided to put in a lot more effort on the drivers rather than doing any improvements on the car. And we had the opportunity to actually sit in the cars with the drivers in the same race cars, and we let them go out on track. We would see what mistakes they are making, correct them, and then later we would drive and give them an experience as to what it is to do it the right way.
JK Tyre's association with Indian motorsport began 3 decades ago, when the company took a conscious decision to lay down a long-term and sustained approach to promote Indian motorsport.
Back when we took this constructive decision that we are going to invest on motorsport, and the company got the whole package together. I was from the motorsport background, I was inducted in. We were from an era of rallying, and it was after 7 successive years that we realized that if you need to give a fillip to the sport, if you want the sport to be looked at by common man, you need to go back to the drawing board, you need to go back to a stadium sport. And that's how in 1997 we got this whole package together of racing, where we had a 800cc powered single-seater racing car, and we used to have Maruti Esteems as our saloon category. This is how we started, with very humble background, and as they say, rest is history.
And over these 3 decades, through the efforts of its motorsport division, the company has been associated with events in all forms of motorsport in India. From the JK Tyre Rally of Coimbatore, which is part of the National Rally Championship, to the TSD format JK Tyre Hornbill Rally held annually in Nagaland, and most recently to the JK Tyre Arunachal Festival of Speed, held for the first time in 2014 in the town of Dirang in Arunachal Pradesh. In the racing format, JK Tyre has the distinction of hosting the JK Tyre Racing Championship, which is now in its 17th year, and the JK Tyre Rotax Max National Karting Championship, which has been going strong since the past decade and is currently in its 11th year.
Although there were some big boys who were kind of ready to take this game, but if you wanted the sport to find its feet, so we needed to get go-karting into India. And that was the same time in 97 December that we opened our first 4-stroke karting center. And this whole program then evolved on year basis. And in 2000 we also had our first karting championship. So even the karting program now is in its 14th year, and this racing program is in its 17th, actually 18th year, because first year we ran it as a contender to the championship. So it's been a long journey.
In all these years, it has been JK Motorsport's endeavour to break away from the elitist image that the sport has, and to make motorsport in India more affordable, at the same time to ensure that it is at par with international operating standards, and promoting Indian motorsport talent and making India a force to be reckoned with in the world of international motorsport.
You see, today we are in the bestest of situation, because I don't think we should look at this championship or any other scenario. We should look at Indian scenario, and we should be very proud that we have this fantastic entry level 100% Indian car, and as I said, is the cheapest form of racing that is available in the world. So come to the Indian driver. He has now got a program. He starts from 4-stroke karting, in the backyard of his town, graduates to two-stroke, graduates to LGB, graduates to the higher levels. So I would say if a kid has it in him, he can train himself in this country and actually now launch his career from F3 and above when he goes abroad, which was not the scenario earlier.
The opening round of the 17th JK Tyre Racing Championship took place on the hallowed tarmac of the Curry Motor Speedway in Coimbatore. And the meanest cars to take the grid that weekend, and on every race weekend since the past 2 years, are the Formula BMW cars. The FB02 series was brought to India by JK Tyre to give Indian drivers exposure to technology and a level of racing at par with international standards. The FB02 series is run in India by Team Euro International. Antonio Ferrari is the team principal for Euro International. His team has won multiple championships across the world. We spoke to the veteran race god and asked him about his take on Indian motorsport and what it's like to run a championship in India.
It's one of the oldest teams in the world in a junior class. The team born in 1989. We are at 609 races so far in close to 26 years of continuing racing. We have 146, 47 win. I don't even remember how many. We've been racing in IndyCar, 101 races, 9 times Indianapolis 500 as a team. We've been doing IMSA Sport Prototype in America. We won 94-95 championship with the Ferrari T3 SP. We've been Formula 3 champion in 2000-2001 in America. We've been Formula BMW. The biggest win is in Formula BMW on this car. Euro International is the winningest teams in Formula BMW history with 7 championships won, the last World Championship won, 11 titles as a drivers, 86 win in 112 races competed in Formula BMW. In 2012 and 11, JK was the sponsor of the JK Asia Championship, and we won both championships. In 2011, we Lucas Auer, now in the European Formula 3. In 2012, with Aston Air. At that moment, the series closed to be Asia Championship, and we basically won both championships and most of the races. And Ardi Sharp saw our organization, saw what we delivered. We were a structured European team, American team, Asia team. So was the idea to promote Indian drivers. We had in the last race, Aditya Patel winning with us in Delhi in the Formula 1 event, and he was the last winner in 2012. I think that was the idea, to do something for the Indian drivers, young drivers. So I was approached. We own 12 cars here and 4 more cars in Europe and in the United States. So we have the fleet of cars available, but most we have the organization, the structure, the container, the equipment. I launched the idea to have a specific series for drivers, and we started last year. Formula BMW car that you can see from my shoulder are single-seater car that's been using for many years in Europe, in the European series. Are Miguel chassis, carbon chassis with BMW engine, 1.2 liter 4-cylinder, about 140 horsepower, capable to do a speed up to 240 kilometers an hour. The gearbox is a sequential gearbox, right-Julen, the same of Formula BMW car, for Formula 3 cars. And the total weight of the car is 450 kilos. What this series does is give a feeling, give a teaching, give an opportunity to put yourself up there, to show that you can do it, but it's a long way to become professional. I think we can teach a lot of things, but with the 4 events, 12 races, 2 days of testing, it's very limited what we can give to these drivers. Because I think what they learn in round 1, they forgot in round 2. So every time we go back here, we start from the same problem they had before. And this is what is missing in India. In Europe, you're able to race every weekend. Here, once each 2 months. There is not a culture, there is no mentality. JK does an incredible job given this opportunity. And now it's the drivers, the family, the sponsor allowed to a continuation of this. I think India has good drivers, but to be honest, I have seen no one arriving to win a very important championship. I know Shandok since was in World Series in Run GP2, but after that Kartikeyan did a fantastic job up to one level. Since we didn't have other driver run, I talk about Formula. I think Armando Brain is doing a very good job right now in GT cars, and Patel is doing the same. But you guys needed some young drivers, 15, 16, 17, follow the oldest needed step with the right money to get to be, I say GP2 drivers, maybe Formula 1 in the future. But what we need to focus now is the 16 years old, 17, 15. If India want to have a new driver, this is the time to do a professional effort, proposal, package, offer to these guys. This is I say package, championship that need to be run at least for 3 years, but also need to be a follow-up. I think we need to take one of these two drivers and give it a chance with the sponsorship or support, whatever it is, from the federation to local sponsor of India to race professional in Europe in the following year or in the following 2 years. And after they are capable, well, they need to be sustained. If it's not, they need to quit. My personal view, and I'm very demanding when I talk about drivers, because I have young drivers right now in Formula 1 that just 4 years ago were on this car with me. There is a long way to go for an Indian drivers to learn the system, to learn what it takes to be a professional driver. So I think right now what I see is I need a lot of job on preparing mentally, technically, with the mentality to approach motor racing. This is actually unique and it's something special because no one worldwide does something like this. So that's why I am absolutely supporting of this idea. We are contracted by JK. I think we do in the last year and this year a good job to provide a professional service, but the drivers need to thank you in an incredible way, JK, to allow to this thing, because no one, I repeat, no one worldwide does something like this.
Coming up on JK Tyre Racing Lines, all the Sunday racing action from the Curry Motor Speedway in Coimbatore.